Okay, guys. Credit to USC battling, finishing the game. Talked to Dante after the game. I think these guys they battled well. Credit to our team. They battled their tails off, man. It was 35-14 at halftime, and it came down to the very last play of the game. And it's 41-34, and anything can happen. We had opportunities, first and goal on the 3 with a holding penalty called back. First and goal on the 10. They said that it was a illegal formation. We'll look at that, see what that looks like. But, the way our guys battled, the way Will Plummer played, as I like to say, he and Singer, they're a year away from playing their senior year homecoming game. And the fact that they were both in there just battling at the end, competing. Proud of Anthony Pandy as always. I mean, that kid I tell him after every game how much I love him. I think I probably tell him I love him as much as I tell my wife all week long, because that guy just gives everything every day at practice, and he's been through a bunch. And the team, proud of the team, proud of the way we competed. And clearly we need to get better, and we will.
Questions? Michael, as you're trying to build this program and create a culture, how important is it to have a second half like you have, to battle back, to keep fighting, to keep playing with effort like that?
Yeah, I made the reference last week about going from losing big to losing small to winning big. And, that was another great example of being there, but not over the hump. But in terms of our culture, we made a huge point of emphasis what the fourth quarter should look like, how you compete all the way through the fourth quarter. And I think we all saw that. There was absolutely no flinch, no letdown, no anything. And we got to play 4 quarters of football. We protected the ball well. We had one fumble on our sideline on their sideline on 1st and 10 when we crossed the 50. And, I've challenged our team as we're building this culture like you just referenced. Let's see what a game looks like when we don't give one away. Let's see what that looks like. And I think our guys are continuing to understand it's 60 minutes of football, and they certainly showed that tonight.
Justin,
what did you see from Jamari Joyner today? What did you like about his game, and what's his status moving forward?
I don't know exactly the medical diagnosis. I'll give you that, but he couldn't continue on with a knee injury. Nothing that I believe would be season ending, but I'm not sure. I don't think so. But I love Jamari. Jamari was a wide receiver who was hurt in the spring game, who had his second surgery, who missed all of the summer and most of training camp, and just has been thrown into the fire of, hey, you're now a quarterback. Hey, actually, you're a running back. Hey, you're now a receiver. We're going to go from you at quarterback to you at receiver within the same down. We're going to motion you. And he's just embraced it. And I actually made the point today, I think Jamari's one of those players, the more you give him, the better he is. The less you give him, the more he can kind of say, tune out a bit. Now that he's fully locked in, made a beautiful throw, had another chance at one down the sideline with Jalen. Really happy with the way Jamari's playing. I think he'll hopefully get back here and be able to continue to help us.
Matt, what impressed you most about Will's performance today?
His grit, his toughness, the fact that when plays were, he took 1 or 2 sacks that he ran off the field. He said, Coach, I know, don't even tell me. I know. Those are the sacks I can't take. But other than that, his decision-making with the ball, I called the screen on about the minus 25 to start the 2-minute drive, and I looked at him and I said, are you good with this? He goes, yeah. If it's not there, I'm going to dirt it. And, you have to learn. These guys are, he's a freshman, and he has to learn things. And if we just hide every play and just try to protect the kid, we'll never be as good as we know we're going to be. So his grit, his toughness, he made some great throws. He threw the deep ball. Well, the first play of the game, we had a chance at it. He threw a flat ball, and he came back and threw a beautiful one. He got that touchdown pass to Tavion that they called back as they rip his helmet off. What a terrible rule. That was a first touchdown pass for him, and lost that opportunity. But we battled, and he scrambled in and got in there anyway.
What do you think a game like this could do for Will and his confidence moving forward?
I hope a ton. I would imagine a ton. I mean, he never flinched. He never flinched. He ripped that dagger at that 25-yard in cut, down 10, ripped it right in there, stepped up in the pocket, at a whatever it was, 41-31 football game, and didn't flinch. I think it should be great for him. And what I told him and the entire team, the only thing you do tonight is be better than you were last night. And I think will be the first guy that embraces that, and the same goes for tomorrow.
What did you think of the targeting call on Jackson Turner, and how big of an impact did that have on your defense?
I know I'm not supposed to talk about officiating, so I'm not going to do that. What I will say is this: what hurts the most is when you have a penalty that takes a player away from playing a whole football game. And when you watch how hard those kids work all week long, Jackson Turner's another one that I give that kid a hug every time I see him. And just the fact that he can't play the final 56 minutes of an SC game, I just hate that. We'll work on fundamentals, and we'll continue to embrace that. Whatever the rules are there. But the idea is just a tough one for me to swallow.
You guys finished the game on a 20-6 run in the second half. What do you think was working for you guys well in the second half?
I think we're just getting better. I think if we just continue to get better, we'll go on those runs more often. They're understanding the offense better. They're more comfortable. You point to Baylor last year with Aranda, right? They're 1-7. This year they're 7-1. Year before they were 11-1. You point to Baylor with Matt Rule, same deal. 1-11 his first year, putting a new system in. Get to 7-6, get to 11-1. We're putting a new offense in, a new defense in, a new special teams, and a new culture. It's a lot. So I'm proud of the way these guys battled, and I hope this second half is a start for something really special.
How did the game change after Drake London got hurt? It seemed like he was obviously kind of doing his thing out there, and after he went out, your defense seemed to play better.
Yeah, well, there's no question. He's obviously one of the best players in the country, right? And prayers for him. And obviously, it's horrible to see that, right? We also lost 2 safeties in the first quarter. So we had to get ourselves situated as well. We had no Gunner, and we had no Jackson. So we had to figure out exactly how we were going to handle the same. But there's no question, hats off to Drake London and what they did with Drake. They managed to make us defend him the whole field. So clearly our guys were able to play differently on defense when he's out.
Can you describe the thought process behind the fake punt? What were you looking for, how they executed it, et cetera?
Well, the execution was outstanding. And what I was looking for was we have a certain look on defense that they have the green light to take that if I give it to them. And that was a situation. It was 4th and 5. I think that is the time to run a fake punt. You're not in punt safe on defense, and you have an opportunity to run an offensive play on the 25. I wasn't going to do that, but it was an offensive play, and it was a great execution by the special teams coaches and Coach Pow and Coach Dudzinski on that, and Pandy.
Was there any motivation or even discussion within the team about you guys being like a homecoming game?
Yeah, we're so motivated to go out there and be the best we can be. We try not to talk about any external forces to motivate us. Our goal here is to be as intrinsically motivated as humanly possible and just go out there and find a way to be the best we can be and not worry about what's going on outside.
2 more, we'll start with Matt.
We've talked about earning the right to win. How much is this a step forward in that process?
Well, yeah, it's too bad we didn't put the first half of Washington and the second half of USC together, and then we would have earned it. But we need to just continue to battle, and I think we're taking steps. And they know it, but earn the right to win isn't necessarily the game. Earn the right to win is how are you handling meetings? How are you handling your schoolwork? How are you handling the classroom? How are you handling community service? How are you handling yourself off the field? If you do all those things right for 6 days, then the 7th day you earn the right to win. And our guys are getting there, and they're beginning to see it and feel it.
Last question, Michael.
Dorian Singer played a lot. Is that because you were banged up at wide receiver, or did you earn that?
No, he earned it. He earned it. Dorian got here as a walk-on, so he wasn't with us until training camp. He's a special player. We're going to see a lot of Dorian Singer over the next 4 years. We're going to have to figure out a way to get him a scholarship ASAP. He is a special, special player, and we're fortunate to have him here, and he showed up on a big stage in his first game. Excited about Dorian in the future.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.